The aging narcissist. Do the narcissist games ever stop? From the gaslighting to the smear campaigns to the blame shifting and the projection. Can they ever recover? Narcissists seem to be invincible, running around, stealing hearts, minds, physical health, home, family, friends, children, and belongings, and it is devastating. I'm Elizabeth Shaw, and this channel is all about the narcissistic personality disorder to give you more understanding of what you might have been through and the people you might be dealing with and how to recover from narcissistic abuse. Please hit the subscribe button and also the bell if you want notifications of when videos are released. So this video is about the aging narcissist. They just don't seem to stop and never seem to be held accountable for their actions. They just go running around destroying people's lives and then often vanishing into the sunset onto the next person that they are about to destroy. And it seems like nothing and no one is able to stop them from destroying those around them. And worse still, they do not have any remorse for the things that they do to people around them. So what is the fate of an aging narcissist? Most people do wonder what happens to them, why you as a good person had your life destroyed by them, whilst the narcissist swans off into their new life. And a lot of people do ask, where is their karma? Now, I know I say, yes, you may have had your life destroyed by them, but you are never too old and it's never too late to start rebuilding your life to being who you want to be and where you want to go. While ever you are still living, while ever you are still breathing, you can create new dreams and build your new future. Karma hits them every second of every day. Even if the narcissist walked away with everything that you had and you ended up with nothing, possessions aren't genuine happiness. They are an illusion. Now, I'm not denying it is very, very nice to have nice things, but it's more vital that you get your happiness from within you. You are now free to do this and you can have nice things again. There is people in the world with all the possessions in the world and people with none that can be happy. And there is people in the world with no possessions and people in the world with lots of possessions and they are miserable. It all depends on who you are. Narcissists go running around collecting things. Not all, some don't have a lot of stuff, but those that do, and they are still miserable. A narcissist deep inside will always be miserable, always searching for external happiness. They don't have that true sense of self-worth. Yes, most can act confident, but not deep down inside, they're not all that confident. If right now you're left devastated and miserable, you can rise back up. You can climb out of it. You can find your happiness again. Whether you become extremely wealthy or not, you don't need material items to be happy. You can create that happiness within yourself. You can be grateful for what you do have. You've got to be grateful for the little things. Your relationship with yourself is the most important thing. As they are lacking in cognitive reflection skills, they just cannot go over the past to see mistakes that they have made. They cannot reflect to change their behaviour. It is a disorder that is on a spectrum. They have a disorder and they cannot change that. And without the ability to reflect, they cannot learn ways to manage the disorder, as once they've created their reality, they will stick to it. It's their reality and they will blame all others, never looking at themselves to see what they can change. Narcissists are quite predictable in the patterns of behaviour that they follow, because a human need is growth, and they never, because they can't reflect, they never learn from mistakes, therefore they never grow on a genuine basis. Also, as they believe they are entitled to do as they please, as they also might suffer from cognitive distortion, this means they have categories of automatic thinking. They always think they're right. As the lack in empathy, they will prioritise themselves over all others. Now, yes, we do have to be selfish at times. We do have to put ourselves first, but it's finding that give and take with people. Narcissists only ever take. They will actively try and prove that their thoughts and their actions are always correct and others are always wrong. The black and white thinking with no middle ground, it's either good or it's bad, and nothing in between to them. So they only ever give when they see that they are going to get something in return. Now, they do say that there's no good deed done unrewarded, but a narcissist is not doing a good deed to be good. They're doing a good deed to take something from somebody else. They are always blaming others. Even if they intentionally inflict emotional distress onto others, cause harm to others, they will hold that other person responsible for their actions towards them. The narcissist will make a reality up of why it's always someone else's fault. There is a thing called the Narcissistic Collapse. They might have pushed everyone away. The overt have grown old. The somatic have lost their looks and the charm that they relied upon for years. People around them have just seen through their toxic nature. When all those around them just seem to start to finally wake up, people do wake up, as you know, it might take weeks, days, months, years, but people do wake up. Whatever it is, one day that mask slips and their true selves are shown to all. Some seem to have a mental breakdown. They become withdrawn, depressed, and often isolated. They can no longer face the world, as that would actually possibly mean facing themselves, which they simply cannot do. From what I've read, most narcissists never get past the collapse and they spend the rest of the days alone and miserable, blaming all the people around them for how their lives turned out. As a narcissist grows older, they do lose their popularity. Now, there is a lot of narcissists that go for younger people because younger people don't always see through their rubbish as easily. But they do eventually lose their popularity. A narcissist cannot sustain long-term healthy relationships. As they age, they lose the ability to charm so easily and can no longer bring in new people. They are often left with no support for their aging and their health problems. Those with substance abuse or other addictions and debts leave them constantly searching for more and destroying themselves in the process. Some narcissists become more critical as they get older. Most narcissists are critical anyway of other people. As all narcissists play victim from time to time, some will switch to victim mode as they age that might not have played victim mode in their younger years. Most play victim at some point. No matter what they own or whoever they are with, they get bored. They need more. They are always looking for something bigger and better. They are never happy with what they have. They can never be grateful for what they've got in that moment. A narcissist is so happy with new people or new items, yet it's only ever temporary. Then they see something else that someone else has got that they believe to be better, belongings, money, privileges, and they go after that, and they don't realise that that's not going to provide them true happiness. They've got to find that true happiness from within. And to find that true happiness, you need things like contribution to other people, growth. Two things that a narcissist cannot do on a continued basis. As I say, they can only contribute if they believe they're going to gain something. They can only grow on a temporary basis, and they just keep cycling around. We all have life cycles, but we learn from mistakes, we grow from mistakes, we take on new challenges. They stay stuck in that same cycle time and time again. People who are abused by these people, who are determined to heal, will heal. And the narcissist will no longer be able to affect them. They cannot feel that true love, not even for themselves. They cannot feel you love them, as they're always looking for more. They don't heal. They don't heal themselves. So if they have suffered a childhood trauma, they never heal from that. They never recover from that. Now, some are. Narcissistic psychopaths are born this way. Narcissistic sociopaths are usually created from some form of childhood trauma. More and more people are healing. More and more people are becoming stronger and wiser, taking control back of their own lives. When we lose the fear of them, we calmly and clearly go to court and we win. Narcissistic people need you to fear them so that they can hurt you, so that they can keep you trapped. Now, as it's on a disorder, some are more dangerous than others, so your safety is paramount. The more you stand up to them and no longer fear them, they can no longer hurt you or destroy you. The more you know who you are, the more their toxic, poisonous words will have, the less their poisonous, toxic words will have any effect over you. When a narcissist falls, they fall badly. It crushes them. When they don't win, it absolutely crushes everything about them. They believe they are above all others. They believe they are entitled. And that is a belief that they hold dearly. And when realities don't match our beliefs, as you know, being with a narcissist, the reality you live in doesn't match the belief of the dream that you were sold, and it causes confusion and that cognitive dissonance within our minds. So as they believe they're entitled, as they believe that they deserve everything they want, as they believe they should win, when this does not happen for them, it absolutely crushes them. They cannot see what they need to do to change things, so they are stuck in that belief. They cannot change that way of thinking. As they age, they slowly destroy themselves. They've left destruction all along the way they have lived their lives. As they age, they lose their looks. Not all of that good looking to begin with. And you may have noticed, once you realise who they truly are, and you look at them and you just think, what was I thinking? Because beauty is on the inside. Someone can look beautiful on the outside, and once you get to know their personality, they can be the most ugly person in the world. And someone cannot be that, everyone's attractive, but someone cannot be that physically attractive when you first meet them. But as you get to know them and what a beautiful soul they've got, they really do become beautiful on the outside. It does work both ways. Most narcissistic people are average looking or below average looking. Don't really like talking about this because to me looks aren't everything. It's the personality that counts. But they lose their looks, they lose their ability to charm, and they lose their ability to intimidate others. They lose their power, they lose their jobs. They end up facing their tortured selves that never healed. You, however, can love yourself again. You can learn to love others again. You may have put up barriers, created a shell around yourself to protect yourself. Once you learn your boundaries, once you learn that saying yes to someone else is saying no to yourself, things like that. Once you learn to trust your own instincts, you can then begin to trust in others again. Others will love you for who you are. The best relationship you can have is the one within yourself. You can learn, you can grow, you have the strength and the power within you to create a much happier future, a much happier, healthier life for you. You can and you will do this. If you've been around an aging narcissist, please add in the comments things that you saw happen to them. What happens when they age is a question that I do get asked a lot. And some people do feel sorry for them, and that's normal. Some people are pleased that this is happening to them, and that is also normal. They are extremely hurtful individuals. So it depends on who you are as to how you take it. But one thing is, even if it's an elderly parent that you're dealing with, you have got to be at your best ability. You have got to serve yourself first to be able to manage yourself around them if you don't want to cut them off. Some aging parents, you do need to cut them off. So again, you can learn to love yourself. You can grow. You can learn from mistakes. I am not saying it is your fault. It is not your fault. Nobody deserves to be abused. But when we don't know about these kinds of people, when we don't know what's happening, we get sucked in. As soon as we start to learn about these people, the more awareness is raised about these people, the less people will get affected and the less people will get sucked in by these people. Teaching people about themselves, teaching young children about mental health, teaching young children about who they want to be and behaviours they should accept and should not accept from others, so that people walk away from these people a lot sooner. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.